Just a few, thank you. Just a few things from me. Well, actually not a few, but first off, I just want to say happy homecoming week. And I want to give a special shout out to Director Ali. She's not here, but Director Ali and Assistant Director Hurley, who's also not here because of homecoming. But I want to give a shout out because the parade yesterday was a huge success. Thank you to everyone who showed up. It was great. Literally my first parade and unfortunately my last because I am a senior, but it was a really good turnout. So shout out to them. Last week, me and Vice President Sadi had an opportunity to have our two-on-one meeting with Dr. Hurd, where we discussed a few things that their office specifically needs from us as SGA. And so there will be two work groups coming into fruition pretty soon. One centered around school tradition and culture, and then another centered around mental health strategies. And so each work group will need SGA representation. So I'll be asking and seeing who's interested in that very soon. So if you are, just keep that in mind and let me know when the time comes. Me and Vice President Sani also met with Dr. Hurd and Stephanie Shea, who is the General Counsel at Towson University, and discussed more about the legal aid office and the next steps forward. So very exciting things coming. I can't share everything, but just be on the lookout for that. And also wanted to give a special shout out to both Director Moultrie and Assistant Director Basak for the safety walk last week. That was a pretty good turnout. We can just give them a round of applause. We were able to walk the whole route and point out, points of safety concerns or accessibility concerns to get them implemented. So I'm excited to see that, and just want to thank you guys again for your hard work and dedication towards that. And then there was also another event last week, the open house. So I want to give another shout out to Director Manawuga, that that was my third open house in SGA, and that was actually the best one I've ever seen. There was a huge turnout. There was a huge turnout. All the food was gone. I know partially because of y'all, but there was a lot of students there. So that was a great turnout, and the wall reveal was perfect. So thank you to Director Manabuga for putting that together. And lastly, that leads me to member of the week. So can I get a drum roll, please? So this week's member of the week is someone who has been in SGA for the past 2 years and has kind of fluctuated from a couple of different positions, but has stayed determined and has continued to do the hard work. And even though it's early on in the school year, this person has done multiple things that contribute to the mission that we campaigned on and just the overall goal of the Student Government Association at Towson University. So I know I said a bit earlier, but thank you for all that you do. And our member of the week is Director Matawuba. Are there any questions? Any questions? All right, with that, I yield.
Treasurer Mauricio. Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone.
Happy Tiger Tuesday.
FAC meetings went really well this past Monday. Thank you to Senator Rivera Forbes, Senator Britton, and Senator Clark for attending them. And then there's also FAC meetings tomorrow from 8 a.m. till 12:20. And you should get an email on that in about 2 minutes. And for budget committee, for budget hearings, you have to be present. If you can't be there, you have to let me know, and you have to have a valid excuse. And you will also have, or you will also receive an email on that later today. The way you sign up for those, by the way, is the email that you got earlier last week. You go and you sign up through the sign up genius, and that's it. With that, I yield.
Attorney General Bennett.
Happy Tiger Tuesday. Okay, so not much, but one thing I want to say is make sure that we're keeping the office clean. I know that we are sharing a space, and also that microwave, y'all, is very disgusting. Like there's spiders and everything. So make sure that you are cleaning up after yourself, because if we cannot clean up after ourselves, it will be taken away. And that goes also too for the rest of the office. If you have stuff, make sure you're getting it. And also too, if you're a senator and you're absent from a committee meeting, make sure you're relaying that information to your committee chair. That does not come to me. And then also for any committee meetings in general, if you sit on a university committee, whether that's academic standards, library advisors, student appeals, make sure you're showing up to those meetings. and also Senate committee meetings as well. But with that, are there any questions? With that idea?
Chief of Staff, Adewale.
Hi, everyone. Happy Tiger Tuesday.
Happy Tiger Tuesday.
Okay, not much to report on. I did have lots of meetings. One today was with, Kelly for Sala leadership. That's something we at the time. But the most important thing I want to touch on is we will be having a community service bagging for, our breast cancer awareness walk. The bagging will be on Monday, the 21st, 6 o'clock to 7:30. You all should have gotten a calendar invite. If you haven't, please let me know. We're gonna be bagging about 200 bags, gonna be filled with goodies and stuff. And for the breast cancer awareness walk, half of that will be given, what do you call it? The bags will be given, to the student body before the breast cancer awareness walks, like half of the bags will be given to promote the breast cancer awareness walk itself, and the rest of the bags will be given at the actual walk. Hope that makes sense. I'm gonna put, what do you call it? A sign of genius for those who want to volunteer to give out those bags, before the breast cancer awareness walk itself. So the walk will be at Tiger Plaza from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's gonna be on the 26th of October. You all should have gotten a calendar invite for that as well. Our walk will start from there and go up all the way up to the College of Business, and we're gonna walk past the math building and we'll go all the way back to Tiger Plaza. This is a really important event, and I can't emphasize all of the SGA members' participation. This is, for a really important cause, and for the first time, SGA is going a little bit deeper. We're gonna be sponsoring a family. We're gonna have a fundraising set up. You're gonna be donating directly to the organization, which is called Human Organization. So this is gonna be really making a difference, and I really hope to see everyone there. We're gonna post a flyer today. There's gonna be an RSVP and everything. So if you're part of a student org, I really hope you spread the word and also participate. Any other questions?
So I'm pretty sure you said this in your email, like, I'm 100% sure, but just so everyone can hear, the bagging on Monday, is that considered community service hours? Okay, thank you.
The bagging is considered community service hours, and so is the walk itself. Any other questions? Okay, with that, I yield.
Department of Academic Affairs,
No report.
Department of Communications,
No report.
Department of Community Outreach,
I'd like to everyone. Just wanted to make it as real brief. Just wanted to remind you all that we have a community service opportunity with St. Vincent's Villa on October 28th from 4 to 6:30. The sign up genius for that will be going out tomorrow. Participants will just be like grilling food and like wrapping it up and passing it out to volunteers. We're looking for between like 5 to 10 people to help out with that. And just to remind everybody, the service opportunity is 2.5 hours, which is half of the requirement needed for SGA 5 hours. So especially for those who haven't even started getting hours yet, this is a good way to get started. SGA and the TU Pre-Med Club are also collaborating for a service opportunity on Saturday, October 26th for the Walk to End Alzheimer's at the Hunt Valley Town Center. This also counts as service hours. To participate, you must register through the link Senator Grizzle sent to the administration group chat. They are looking for around $500 of donations, but donations are not required. For those that need transportation, they will send up sign up genius. Check in for the walk between 7:30 and it will start 8:30. And lastly, if you have not registered yet for involved at TU, please do so as soon as possible so that Director Nally and I can start inputting your hours. All right, is there any questions? Okay,
Assistant Director Basal,
Sorry, what was the date for the first event?
okay. October 28th, that'll be a Monday. Are there any other questions? Okay, with that, I yield.
Department of Diversity and Inclusion,
No report for real, but I
just want to say thank you for everybody who helped out and came to our table, you know. Any questions? With that, I yield.
Department of Governmental Affairs.
Hello, everyone. Happy Tiger Tuesday. So I just want to start off with a reminder. Today's the last day to register for the state of Maryland online at 11:59 p.m. So if you haven't done so, you can get with either me or Director Jallo after GA. And as of October 24th, we'll be doing a collaboration with Civil Engagement for a party to the polls, push early registration. And we had mentioned previously that any Maryland resident could vote there, but actually only Baltimore residents are allowed to vote there. So if you are a Baltimore resident, you could vote at Southwest Pavilion from October 24th. And for part of the polls, we'll be doing a scavenger hunt with, as I mentioned, with Civic Engagement, and the SGA office will be one of the interactive activities and stops throughout the scavenger hunt. So we will be posting, after the homecoming events, we will be posting the postcards around the office and be handing them out as long as the activity to come. And also on November 5th will be the election watch party. FSL office is now collaborating with us, and there may or may not be incentive for that, with more to come. Any questions? Incentives to the great staff because of FSL office.
Senator Kaluza.
Question is just, if you're a Baltimore resident, does that matter if you're in the county or if you're in the city?
So for early registration, any Baltimore resident can vote at South Campus Pavilion.
Senator Miller.
Do you know where any of the early voting locations are for residents of other counties, or where to find them?
Pretty sure it's gonna be under your, the Board of Elections.gov and Maryland.gov there.
Thank you.
Right now, we only know, for the Baltimore residents. With that, I yield my time.
Department of Health and Wellness.
All right, hey guys. So two things to report. We will be collaborating with sustainability on the eco fair that's on the 31st. All the details are not really worked out quite yet, so more details to come with that. We also have a meeting on Thursday for the De-Stress for Success Fall 2024. It's a collaboration with a lot of organizations, but also mainly the student success programs. More information to come for that. Any questions? Okay, with that, I yield.
Department of Marketing.
Okay, so we were able to get the open house recap video posted. We just wanted the student body to kind of see what we were doing, to also come out to other events that we'll have this semester. And also, if you all have like any events and you want like a creative kind of video posted, we're trying to like do more video content other than like just flyers posted on the page. So feel free to reach out. Also, like your base camp request, if you see or you feel like your event flyer is being like overlooked, feel free to reach out because sometimes it might just slip past. And there's a team to work on your graphics. So I don't want y'all to feel like y'all getting overlooked. Any questions? With that, I yield.
Department of New Student Development.
Happy Tiger Tuesday. Yeah, so Sign Up Genius will be coming out soon to help freshman council set up for their bonfire event, which is the 24th. So we're looking for around 5 people, so keep a lookout on that. And then there will also be another Sign Up Genius coming out to help set up for speed friending for National Transfer Student Week on the 21st. Any questions? And with that, I yield.
Department of Special Projects.
No report.
Department of Student Services and Affairs.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everybody. So first, thank you all for those who did come out to the safety walk. I think we both think it was a very good success. Also for the ones that did post the graphic on their social media, we appreciate that as well. We are meeting with the Assistant Vice President of Health and Wellbeing to discuss the potential CPR and Narcan training event on Thursday at 3 p.m. This week is street team. It is not required, but it is a good opportunity for y'all to get, ideas, from the student body to help with future events and initiatives that you guys may be planning. We also have a meeting with Ms. Carolyn on Wednesday. We have a meeting with Ms. Carolyn on Wednesday, to discuss the process of getting more street team apparel. Any questions? With that, I yield.
Department of Student Organization.
Hi, everyone. Thank you to everyone for coming out for, open house last week, Tuesday. It was very nice, very successful. I just have two things to talk about. I have two events coming up. One on the 21st of October, which is the Student Org Mondays. So it's just for student orgs to come, collaborate, engage with each other. And then I have the Tiger Org Tuesday Halloween edition, which is on the 29th of October, I believe. I think it's from 11:30 to 2 p.m. And we're just having like a tabling for student orgs to engage with students and on the second floor union. And we would have like a costume contest for the student org. Any question? With that, are you?
Department of Sustainability.
Happy Tiger Tuesday.
Happy Tiger Tuesday.
So we had a meeting with the Department of Sustainability yesterday where we discussed the Eco Fund upcoming projects and possible community service opportunities. And also Eco Fair planning is also in progress. So we should have our updated form submitted by Wednesday. With that, are you?
Military Veterans Representative. Greek Life Representative.
Everybody. So this past weekend, we did the Greek First Veterans event. That's it went by 1 point. But we did raise money for the cause. When I have that total, then I will share that with you all next week. That was a great event. Next year, we are hoping to, well, I won't be here, but the office is hoping, both offices are hoping to collaborate with another organization. We did mention SGA as an option to compete next year, a part of the event. It's essentially an event that raises money for students who are, who are children of veterans who are in need of support, financial support. So all of those proceeds will be going to them. Again, once I have the number, then I'll share that with people. Like Assistant Director Reyes shared, the November 4th event, Watch Party is now a collaboration event with November 5th, sorry, is a collaboration event with the Department of Governmental Affairs to essentially, watch the election, see what's gonna happen. So we are excited to do that. I'm gonna talk more with them and the Office of Fraternity Sorority Life to see exactly what our options are, but as of right now, we're trying to get all 5 councils on board to do that. It will be a cap event if it gets approved and service hours, so through our office, sorry. So yeah, last thing for me is Dance to Madness is happening Thursday. I'll be hosting again. It's a fun event where many of our organizations prepare a month in advance to perform. It's an event that we've done for a while now. So if you are interested in coming out to it, it is a homecoming event. It's happening in TU Arena at 7 o'clock. And it will end around 9 p.m. So, yeah, come out, support. Any questions? Cool, Ayo.
URG representative.
Happy Tiger Tuesday. Just two things. I'm not sure who here follows the URG Instagram, but we did put out a poll asking for a horror movie because we're putting on a movie night. That was briefly canceled, but now it's back on. It's happening the 24th from 6 to 9 p.m. over in Tiger Town. Yeah. We're partnering with with SEC for that, so yay. Also happening on Monday, the 21st from 2 to 4 in the Union downstairs. I will be doing tabling with our director of programming, with the hub, for our all-in drive. So come spin a wheel, win a prize, and get all our information. Any questions? And with that, I yield.
Sports Club Council representative.
Not much to share. Some students reached out to us, formed a Taekwondo club, can't say that, but I tried. And we were voting on that probably this Wednesday. They don't have enough members yet, so we have to wait, see, we have a meeting tomorrow, so I have to see if they got enough members, but we should be voting on that soon. That's all.
Representative.
Good evening. A few announcements. So our Survive Towson event got rescheduled to Wednesday, October 30th, still from 6 to 9. Our Fall Flex, thank you for everyone that was able to come out. We had a great turnout. Next month, November, CAB is looking to collab with organizations for the whole month. So platforms already posted on our Instagram at Towson CAB. So if anyone's interested in collabing with us, our form is in our link tree in our bio. Oh yeah, so our second round for Tiger Fest, the artist voting, that form should be going up sometime in the next couple of weeks. We have roughly around 900 submissions, and so this round would help finalize who we're gonna bring for Tiger Fest in the spring. And with that, I yield. Oh, any questions?
Assistant Director, Ajay.
I was just wondering, are you guys gonna be like adding names to the list for like the artists, or are you just gonna keep the list as is?
So we're not adding any more names to the list. So basically, from what the list that we have, based off of the amount of students that voted for the most popular artists, we're gonna compress that down to like 10 artists.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? I am.
Transfer student representative. Freshman council representative.
Happy Tiger Tuesday. Just a few things, just reiterating our first event for this month is our bonfire night, which is next Thursday on the 24th, as well as our following event, our trivia night, which is on the 28th. That's about it. I hope to see you guys there. Any questions? With that, I yield.
All right, happy Tiger Tuesday. I really only have one thing to say. Senators, when you do submit your bills, I've been getting a lot of emails and emails do tend to get buried. Please use the legislation submission form that is on Basecamp, please. I'll do my best to update the legislation tracker by the end of this week as well, so that you guys can see that and you can see what number of bills we're on. After GA, just recycle your agenda paper, and that's pretty much it. And put your nameplates in the back. With that, I yield. Any opinions of the court?
We have an upcoming appeal. We don't know when, but soon. Any questions? Then I yield.
Okay, we're gonna move into quorum call. Are there any motions on the floor? Senator Kelly,
I motion to acquire Senate Bill number 1.
is there a second? I second. Okay, thank you, Senator Edwards. With that, we move into a motion to require a vote. We're moving to a vote on the inquiry for Senate Bill 1. With that, the motion to acquire Senate Bill 1 has passed. Senator Britton, being that you're the one that introduced this bill, can you come up and share with us?
Happy Cyber Tuesday, everybody. Thank you. Okay, so Senate Bill 1 here, we are changing Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution. It's a pretty simple change. And just to be noted, this is not changing a practice. We're just simply changing the documents to reflect the practices that we already have. But my changes it from the President Pro Tempore election is done in the first GA of the academic year rather than the summer retreat. And that's essentially it. That's all we did because we already do. So, any questions?
President Ryan.
So, my question, since I can only ask questions, do you think that it would be more beneficial to elect the president pro tempore or maybe all Senate leadership positions similar to how we kind of do the Chief Justice, as to where Chief Justice isn't elected, so it's kind of different, but we kind of give it like a couple of weeks to kind of like settle into the administration, and then that kind of gives senators an opportunity to maybe learn more about, you know, the position that they're coming to or what it would take to actually hold that position in SGA. Do you think that would be more beneficial than doing it how we already do it with the first the first GA in the academic year?
Yeah, that was discussed in our meetings, but we ultimately decided that that would put a lot of pressure on the vice president for the first couple of weeks, especially the first couple of GAs. So, and the Senate, you know, needs leadership. We need people in charge. And so we decided that would be best for the first academic GA of the year. So. Any other questions?
No questions? Thank you, Senator Britton. Oh, you had a question? Oh. Are there any other motions on the floor? Senator Kelly?
I motion to acquire Senate Bill number 2.
Is there a second? I second. Thank you, Senator Edwards. Okay, Senator Rowlett. Oh, now we move into a vote. Seeing that the motion has passed, Senator Rowlett, this being your bill, did you want to come to the floor and speak about that?
Happy Taco Tuesday. Um, I reviewed the grant review committee and we're making changes to the first part of I. So the chair, the attorney general will basically be exit out of this part and we will add the appropriations chair. And then for the second part will be where it says be compromised. I've exited out and I add the appropriations chair who shall vote for voting members. Did everybody see that in the bill? Anyone have any questions?
Deputy Chief Justice O'Lanion. I'm so sorry. Quick question, why are we changing
Well, we're changing it because which part? Because which,
it? Name? Yeah, the whole thing.
okay.
So point of clarification, I believe that's the appropriate one. So this was actually a change that happened last year. A senator wrote a bill and basically handed over. Yeah, and this is going to appropriations. He wrote in the bill that it would go from, the bill was intended for it to go. But it was a bill written and it was kind of like if it was in between. It wasn't fully written, but it basically took away grant review. And the intention was for it to go to the appropriations committee, but it was never properly written. So this bill is just doing what was supposed to be in place, basically closing that gap and getting it to where it's supposed to go.
Vice President Sani. Also, another point of clarification, the reason why we chose the appropriations committee is because the appropriations committee is familiar with the FSPO as well as the grants that they are currently writing into the FSPO as well. So they hold that knowledge to review the grants. With that, I yield. Chief of Staff Audio Ole. So sorry.
Can I ask why the director student organization is crossed out of this, committee?
And because honestly, I cannot give you a definite answer because I'm learning this bill as I was going through it myself, so I'm not real with y'all.
Point of clarification. It was discussed between Saru, the director of student organization, simply because as well, like, since we're moving into the appropriations committee, they don't sit on that committee. And then adding the director of student organization would be like having to have another separate committee and figuring out the times for them as well. And then also the grant review, grants have to deal with money, so it's like.
Chief of Staff Audio Wole. If the director of student organizations, part of the responsibility is to, help out student orgs and basically be a voice and a liaison for them. Doesn't it seem important and probable when you're making decisions based on student orgs and the money for student, or for the director of student organization to be sitting there to give, their knowledge of what they know about that student org when it comes to the money that you will or maybe will not be giving them? Really trying that question. Senator Kelly.
So I kind of two questions. I guess it's more for you guys. So are we completely removing the grant review committee? Is that like no more? That
President Ryan.
So the grant review committee was kind of already removed based on how we're supposed to operate. It still existed in the governing documents as an error of the last administration, me included. But it's a removal, yes, but all the responsibilities that sit with the grant review committee, if this bill passes, would just go to the appropriations committee. So it would still do the same thing. It would just go to a different committee, and the grant review committee wouldn't exist.
okay, so it's still gonna list the grant review committee in the governing documents?
No.
So it's removing all of it.
Yeah, it would just say, it would just say the appropriations committee where the grant review committee would be.
Are there any other questions? Thank you. President Ryan.
So point of clarification again, Government Operations Chair Holland, who's currently acting as the president pro tem board, due to the line of succession, when she goes up to introduce the bill that you guys are about to talk about, the responsibility of president pro tem board then goes on to the appropriations chair, which is appropriations chair Rivera Forbes. So that's about that. I just wanted to clarify that so no one was confused.
Are there any motions on the floor? Senator Grizzle.
Motion to inquire Senate Bill number 3.
Does she have a second?
A second.
Thank you, Senator McKnight. And with that, we'll now move into a motion to vote. Okay, with that, it has passed. Happy Tiger Tuesday.
Happy Tiger Tuesday.
Okay, you guys, it looks long, I know, but just bear with me, okay? Okay, so Senate Bill number 3 is just concerning the accountability and ethics handbook, Article 2, that discusses the accountability procedures. This is just going to go from section 1 to 4. So right off the bat, it's really just changing a few different words. It's not a whole lot that's being changed. So for section 1, subsection A, before a member may submit a professional development review, PDR, it's just saying that instead of the Chief Justice and the Attorney General will be reviewing that, it's just the Attorney General. For B, it just clarifies that the different levels of PDRs, like if you have 2, that's a level 1. If you have 3, level 2. If you have 4, it's a level 3. Okay, so we did make a little mark out. It just says, at first it said any dismissed or impeached member that may not be able to apply for like the next semester, not the next semester, they can come back the semester after the next. But we just decided, if you're impeached or dismissed, that was for a reason, and that should be indefinite. Sorry. Sorry about that. Another like just little tweak, instead of it saying failure to describe a positive decorum at meetings, we said that failure to describe a positive decorum at all times, that's anywhere regarding SBA in the office to other SG members, advisors, etc. You should be having decorum at all times, not just at meetings. And we also decided, instead of having a say for record keeping, it should stay with the Chief of Staff and Deputy Chief of Staff. We just changed that to Attorney General and the Chief Justice, because they are the ones that do work with the PDRs and everything like that, so it can just stay under that hood. Yes, we changed the Attorney General, literally, it's just changing if the Chief Justice is working with the Attorney General for certain types of levels. So in level 2 of PDR, we didn't think that the Chief Justice should come in there. She should come in a little bit later so it doesn't conflict with appeals. So we said that the Attorney General would determine the final standing for the issued PDR based on the merit of governing documents and the facts of the case. Once PDR is determined as standing, the member will be contacted by the Attorney General instead of Attorney General and Chief Justice. In the required of level 2, which is a required meeting, the meeting will be held with the Attorney General and the branch liaison instead of Attorney General, Chief Justice, and the student advisor. And then this is the opportunity for the Attorney General to just outline different opportunities that the member might have to succeed and improve in their role. This little wording change, literally, instead of it saying for level 3, the employment review process, instead of it saying like the word determine next steps or discuss next steps, we decided for it to say upon the issuing of the PDR, the necessary employment review committees will form and deliberate to determine if removal is necessary. And then following the committee's decision, the member will be contacted by the Attorney General, who's also the chair of that committee, with a formal decision. Instead of the word next step. This way it's more clear and it's fairly like, boom. Now, section 3, discussing complaints. We briefly in the
accountability and ethics handbook, you do see that, everyone is held to the same standard regardless of like your position, regardless of your e-board, et cetera, like that. So we just made it a little bit more clear for you. So section 3 complaints just talks about how the process would go if you were to file against Attorney General, filing against a member of exec board other than Attorney General, and external like ARP, which is just if you were like a student organization working with SGA and something happened and who you would report to, things like that. And the only thing from section 4, we just changed it from section 5 to section 4, that's dealing with appeals. That tells you different things that you can, how you can do appeal. You can file for appeal at any step of the PDR process, any level, to be clear. So if you have a level 1, 2, or 3, that just has to be filed within 48 hours of the notification that you got a PDR. Is there any questions?
Senator Miller? Hi, so I just have a couple questions to, where the failure to contribute to a positive decorum at all times. So that language was a bit more vague. Is that, you touched on it a little, is that during all official SGA times, or like if someone is being rowdy out and about, does that contribute to sorry, if it's like in the official representation of SGA versus being a student? I know those have an intersection, but I was wondering.
Yeah, if you're in an SGA setting, like if you're in the office, if you're here, if you're anything that SGA is hosting, any event, anything with SGA's name, really bold letters on everything like that. If you're just out and about with your friends, do as you please. But I mean, you also should just, with your friends, you should be nice, but just amongst each other, just keep it very nice and professional.
Thank you. And my second question was about section 3 complaints. I noticed that when everything was being filled out, it looks like the section was taken out completely about filing a complaint against another member. Was that moved somewhere else, or was that an intentional exclusion?
It was repetitive. We already touched on how to file a complaint against another member in section 1. So we didn't think that it needed to be said again in section 3.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I would demand that a senator yields their time to Assistant Director Ajay. Senator Aloji.
I yield my time to Senator Ajay. Oh, Assistant Director Ajay.
Yes, I just had a general question, PDRs, do they go for the entire year, or do they like renew every semester?
Attorney General Bennett. If you point of clarification, if you receive a PDR, that's for the whole administration year. So it doesn't renew, like it doesn't start over. Like once you have it, you're stuck with it, unless you appeal it.
Because I was only saying that because of something about, like, if you get like 4 PDRs means like you get kicked off the SGA board, right? So, and then you're kicked off, like you can't like come back indefinitely.
No, there's a process for that, but it just kicks you to a level 3 if you have.
Okay, I just want to clarify.
Attorney
on that.
Oh,
Chief of Staff.
yeah.
Chief of Staff Adewale.
Okay, so let's say that something happens in the SGA office that could be considered like really dangerous. For example, let's say an SGA member put their hands on another SGA member, and that was their first offense. So will that be considered a PDR level 1 because that's their first offense, or do you think there should be certain things that automatically become a certain level because of, the damage it's causing to the administration as a whole?
If you put your hands on someone, that goes to a level 3. It jumps to level 3. It does tell you, like, in the event of an extreme violation of the SGA Code of Conduct, SGA Constitution and bylaws, SGA Code of Ethics, the Attorney General reserves the right to determine a PDR as a level 3. And then it would just proceed.
Attorney General Bennett. Okay, so another point of clarification, so like Senator Holland said, so if an extreme case like that, in the PDR level 3, under it, it does say that in the event of extreme violations of SGA Code of Conduct, Constitution, bylaws, ethics, like then that will automatically be considered a level 3.
Senator Mkumbuzi.
Good evening. I just had a similar question as Assistant Director Ajay. Similar question as well. So I wanted to know, is that something that can be implied within the Constitution, just to there won't be any further confusion? Just like, hey, like even though you might, equate this many amount of PDRs, they do renew at the end of the administration year.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Vice President
Wait, what did
Song.
you say? Oh.
Vice President Song.
Wait, so, my question is like, about the, you can never come back to SGA again. Like, no second chance.
Okay, let me say this. Look, you have a level 4. There's a process, there's an impeachment process, there's all these different processes. When you do have all these changes, you have a level 1, you have level 2. You should already know by level 2 that I need to change some things up. We're here to just keep telling you, so.
I recommend a senator to yield their time to Assistant Director Ajay. Senator McKnight.
I yield my time to Assistant Director Jay.
Thank you. So like back to this indefinitely thing, I'm sorry, I jumped up. I feel like because like people that are on this board were like voted in by senators, I feel like since they were voted in, maybe it's not like you're coming back, it's like you have to want people to like vote for you to come back. So I mean, I say like indefinitely makes it like it's.
Point of order, right now it's just only asking questions, like.
Oh. So
Yeah.
like, do you agree with that? What is your opinion on that?
Non-debatable question. It's just first reading, so leave the debatable questions for second.
Yeah, just adding on point of clarification, piggybacking off. Point of clarification, piggybacking off of Attorney General Bennett. This, like, first reading is for non-debatable questions, like she said, so just really just gaining more insight on what the legislation is, not necessarily kind of seeking opinion.
Okay, understand.
Please, point of order, please remember to be recognized.
With the whole like, what, assistant director, I did use like, Ajay was saying, so is there a way that possibly that when a PDR is like given that like is up to that level of like termination permanently, that, I won't make this a question, that the student, that somebody that, you know, is in charge of the election process is going to be aware of so that they can't run again? Is there like a process, like, you know, like how is that gonna be communicated? Like, is it gonna be written somewhere? You know, gonna be added?
Well, okay, I'll say this. Everything regarding PDR processes and anything, like every step is always gonna be documented. So the hopes are that with those documents, they are passed along. I can discuss with people who might know a little bit more if we can implement that actually into the bill itself. But yes, that's my answer. I'm sorry.
Senator Miller? I have a similar question to what Chief of Staff Adewale was saying and Assistant Director Ajay. When having the dismissed or impeached members, they come and they would make a point for when they would come into SGA again to be voted in. So would there be a possibility for some form of middle ground appeal process where they would have to present extra cases for why they could have growth or anything like that? Would that be something possible for consideration?
No. I don't know. I mean, that's just a lot.
Senator M. Kamuzi.
Sorry, I'm having a little difficult time, finding the verbiage about the 48 hours to be able to, once you receive the PDR, you have 48 hours to kind of like appeal it. I was asking, I guess my question is, could that be moved up to 72 hours?
Why?
I'd like to, I mean, I guess I could speak on my behalf and past experiences. There's no like, just having.
This question zone. Non-debatable question.
You just have to be very adamant with looking at your emails. I will say this, for the indefinitely part, you guys, in order to get there, you've had to do something extremely bad that SGA doesn't even need. You don't value anything that SGA does. So it's really bad to get there. The goal is not for y'all to get there. So let's, you know, stay a course and do what we're supposed to, governing documents, making sure that SGA is on top of everything that we're supposed to do for the betterment of our student body and everything like that, instead of doing anything bad.
Senator Edwards.
Are we allowed to call point of clarification during questions? Okay, yeah, I just wanted to say also, I do believe in our bylaws, we're supposed to respond to all emails within 48 hours.
You have to say point of clarification.
Oh yeah, point of clarification, apologies. Yeah, I do think in the bylaws, it says we're supposed to respond to SGA related emails within 48 hours anyways, so.
Thank you. Are there any more questions? Thank you, Governor Operations Chair Hoffman. I will now be passing the position back to Government Operations Chair Holland.
Senator Rhines?
So I would make the recommendation to the Senate to strike Senate Bill 2. Senator Kelly brought up a good point when he asked the question about if this would fully remove the grant review committee from all of our governing documents, but in Senate Bill 2, like, it still has language that says grant review committee. So I would then make the recommendation to strike this Senate Bill number 2, and just have it rewritten to where, grant review committee is completely struck. Just a recommendation though.
Are there any motions on the floor? Senator Miller?
I motion to strike Senate Bill number 2 so that it can be rewritten.
Does she have a second? Second. Oh, thank you, Senator Rojo. Okay, the motion has passed. And Senate Bill 2. Stricken? It's striked. I want to recommend that we table Senate Bill 4 and 5, being that Senate President Pro Tem 450 Wilson is not here. Are there any motions? Senator Brenton,
I motion to table Senate Bills number 4 and 5.
is there a second?
I second.
Thank you. Appropriations Chair, Senator Forbes. That motion has passed. Are there any announcements? Any other motions on the floor? Senator Grizzle? I motion to adjourn. Is there a second? A second. Thank you, Senator McKnight. Adjourn. Please take all your nameplates, put it in the box, in the back, and whoever can carry the nameplates downstairs can please do so, and also recycle your agenda papers, thank you.